Philip has a company called Intelligent Assistance, aptly named, and he's developed something called Lumberjack Systems with his partner, Dr. Greg Clark, who's also here today. And that does keywording and pre-editing for Final Cut Pro X, and they have a lot of other things, mostly to do with Final Cut, I believe.
A little bit of Premiere Pro.
But Premiere as well. So Philip Hodgetts, please take it away.
Thank you very much. Yes. The particular product that I'm going to talk about today is Lumberjack System. We keep it as a separate company from Intelligent Assistance because it's got a different focus, but it's really just Greg and I in both cases. We do these apps to enhance Final Cut Pro 10, well, in fact, to get to and from Final Cut Pro 10. Send to 10 is the new name for 7 to 10, which has been out since shortly after Final Cut Pro 10 was released. 10 to CC is the name of the product that takes you from 10 back to Creative Cloud, back to Audition, After Effects, or Premiere Pro. And it's the only way to translate a full project, a bin structure and everything. Resolve will translate timelines, simple timelines, but it will not do the complexity or the bin structure. To enhance Final Cut Pro 10, our long-standing Sync and Link product is used on pretty much every major feature film and television show that uses Final Cut Pro 10. And change list, we have a change list tool for both Final Cut Pro 10 and Premiere Pro. And for those who think that Premiere Pro is doing better, the Final Cut Pro 10 version of the change list tool outsells the Premiere Pro one by about 8 to 1. 8 times more people are doing high-end feature film work on Final Cut Pro 10 than are on Premiere Pro. Just a data point. But the one I really care about, the one that is made for me, because a lot of those apps were made for other people, is Lumberjack System. We were taking a trip around a Great Loop Waterway, wanted to create a reality TV show on this new app called Final Cut Pro, which by that point had only been out for 8 months. And I realized there was a small problem. We were going to be shooting and traveling during the day. We could log it at night, and we could either edit or sleep, because I wasn't going to leave the end of 4 months before I started editing anything into shape. And I thought, well, sure, there's lots of people who're going to have logging tools, because why not? Turns out, yes, if you're doing scripted, there are plenty of tools. If you're doing non-scripted, we had to invent one, and that one that we invented was Lumberjack System. Lumberjack really has grown from that very basic keywording tool into something that is very, very powerful. It is cloud-based, and the advantages of having it cloud-based is that multiple people can be logging at the same time. They can use multiple different logging tools at the same time, and the desktop app will concatenate them all in together into keyword ranges in Final Cut Pro 10. You can log material that's already been shot. You don't have to do it real time. The focus initially was just on real-time keywording of dailies. It's grown up, and we've got a story mode, which I'll demonstrate, and we also have a transcript mode, which I'll demonstrate. It's no script sync, but it's a step on the direction. I'm only going to talk about this part of it today. With the cloud too, there is no delay of getting the documents from the set to the editor. Once it's uploaded, it's there for everybody. If the device it's logged on gets lost, it's still uploaded and safe. As long as you can get to an internet to upload from the iOS logger, all other logging is done in real time straight to the database. We have 3 modes. The dailies mode, keyword mode, which takes our real-time keywording and puts it out onto our clips or multicam clips or synchronized clips. We have story mode because not every shoot happens over one day, and you don't want to wait till the end of the shoot before you start logging anything. And we also have transcript mode with the addition of magic keywords. Once we've got a transcript, why don't we pull out keyword ranges for you automatically, from nothing, for magic. This is our iOS logging tool. Once you've created a project on the web interface, you can download everything into the iOS tool. You can take it anywhere on the planet without an internet connection. You can swap between events. You can log different projects as you go. It all stays safe on the phone until you get time to upload it. In fact, we had one new customer, STV in Denmark, who used Lumberjack on a 69 series, episode series for children's television called Klassen, that they did some testing, and when they went to show it off to management how great it was, none of his keywords showed up. And he'd come back to us for support, and we said, have you uploaded it? This was like months later. And months later, it was still all there. He uploaded it, and everything was just spot on immediately. Now, we've made that very, very robust so that you can safely take it anywhere and log anywhere. If you understand keyword ranges in Final Cut Pro 10, they're very simple. They are a range of information across a range of time. Whether the media is shot or not, we log the range of information keyword in time, and then we use the time of data of the media file and the time that we logged to match this all up in a desktop app. I'm going to start logging my name, and the first question is, what is your experience of learning? And that's it. If you can turn the light switch on and off, you can log with Lumberjack. And when I go to the next topic, I just turn that one off, turn the next one on. Between that in and that out will be a keyword range in Final Cut Pro 10 on any media, any synchronized clip, or any multicam clip that contains that media or that time range. Obviously, you can add keywords as you go. You can back time so that you can work a little bit behind real time, so you've got that little bit of relaxation time so that you can think, oh yeah, that's what they're talking about, or if they delay answering a question, you can delay the start. When you're finished, you hit the upload button to the cloud up on the top right of the screen, and that's all we do. Sending that to Final Cut Pro 10, once we've ingested our media, I have some logged events here already, the dailies, but my final dailies, here is a multicam without any logging on it at all. This was done with the sort of logging you just saw by my singing teacher's young video production guy. He's about 20 and teaching himself production, and it's refreshing to see what people with no preconceptions do with the tools that we've been trained to use in a particular way. So it's refreshing. In order to log this, once I've made my multicam, I drag the event down to our Lumberyard application, and it's called Lumberjack because he's a logger, and so once you've gone with a metaphor, you've got to stick with it. I'm going to do some favorite range and keyword ranges, lower thirds, and send it back to Final Cut Pro 10. I'm going to cancel that one when I get to Final Cut Pro 10 because I happen to know that that is 9 minutes off. And so I'm going to say, I need to set you all back 9 minutes. So we learned very quickly that accurate camera times were not the rule, and so we recommend effectively shooting the logging clock or any atomic clock app just to get you that time of day. Yeah, we're back to slating again. But it gives you a very accurate offset if you need one. And that's about the right number. And with Final Cut 10.3, we don't create a new event every time we do this. We get an updated event so that the metadata that we send out gets added to and comes back to Final Cut Pro 10 and creates a far smoother experience between drag and drop and incremental update. And you can see here on my multicam that I have, that's where Vanessa is, and actually there is Vanessa there, Kim is here. And what I did was I didn't make a separate multicam for each. I just said, screw that, I'm going to assign angles and then just make a multicam of the whole afternoon shoot, because that's less work for me instead of finding which ones go together. Because I have the people logged, and so I can go straight to that range directly in my, as if I had created 3 separate multicams, but I've still got the full multicam of everything. I've got all of these keywords logged, experience of learning, recommendation, singing goals, where different people spoke about all of these things. And I also have string outs. So experience of learning, you can see here I have lower thirds for Vanessa talking about her experience of learning and each of the persons in time. Optionally switch multicams, but every third one will be black because this is a 2-picture, 1-audio multicam. If that's all we did for $9.99 a month, one trip to Starbucks a month, that would save you so much time that you would be way ahead of the curve, ready to start getting your edits together. You've got subject-based string outs, but not every job is over in one day. So you'd have, a day shoot where you log that, another day shoot where you log that, another day shoot where you log that. And what you really want at this point is the string outs, the topic-based string outs from all of those in one place, not in separate events. And so we have story mode, which takes those separate events, those logged events, sends them back to Lumberyard in story mode, and makes our string outs for the whole of our project, whether it's 1 day or 400 days shooting. And the way that works is that I come back to Final Cut Pro. I'm just going to choose the 3 logged events because I don't want any complications, and I'm just going to drag those, and you see Final Cut creates this no XML workflow, and you'll notice that Final Cut Pro, the Lumberyard has defaulted to story mode. I normally zoom that up, but it's not my normal computer. And now we have all of the events, all of the interviews that have been done, and I'm going to send these back to Final Cut Pro 10 again. And now we have this string outs event, and all here are, so again, if we talk about the experience of learning, here's me, here's Vanessa, here's Kim, and here's Lauren. All the shoot, every day, all of the shoots brought together into one timeline, each by subject, and now you can start to do the work that you as an editor are actually paid to do, as opposed to spending the first 3 days of your edit, preparing for the edit and logging everything. We do have a tool called Backlog for logging everything that you've already shot that wasn't logged real time. And in story mode, you can add keywords inside Final Cut Pro 10. You can adjust real-time keywords that were there, add keyword ranges that were forgotten before building the story string out. It adds a lot more flexibility. And again, if that's all we did, for $9.99 a month, one trip to Starbucks, or $110 a year, that would be incredibly good value. But wait, there's more. So we've just got these, and I have transcripts for these done. I've been experimenting with beta testing a new tool called SpeedScriber, which will work with Final Cut Pro 10 and Premiere Pro particularly. It's a part machine and part human corrected tool, and it's great for doing one-off transcripts. Lumberjack does a much better job of bringing multiple transcripts in and at once. It also can apply the transcripts to synchronized clips and to multicam clips, and of course we do magic keywords. And again, the way that would work is I've got my multicams in an event. I'm going to drag that event down to Lumberyard, and I've got that. You need to go into, I have my transcripts in here, and we're processing through. We've gone out to a server, we've brought back the magic keywords, and you can see here that we have show choir extracted, auditioning extracted. These are reasonably good keywords for singer stories. And so we can go through, we can fine-tune them here, or we can fine-tune those keywords, eliminate any keywords that we don't want once we get back into Final Cut Pro 10. We can do string outs for each magic keyword, and we can adjust how many magic keywords we generate, more or less, depending on what type of content you're looking at. And so these are being generated across all of the transcripts and then being unique back to the ones that are most useful to us. Send that back to Final Cut Pro 10. What I can do here is I can say, okay, where did we talk about head voice, which is where you go up into the higher registry. And 3 people talked about head voice. So if we come across here to the notes and I open this up and see that the keyword head voice has been applied, mixed voice has been applied. I need to play more games. I'm not very good at target practice. You can see here, head voice, head voice. It's, as I said, it's no script sync, but it does help you get to the part of the media that you are trying to find. This was originally created and added to Lumberjack for the O.J. Simpson documentaries that Chuck Braverman worked on last year, or was it earlier this year? No, it was last year. And it's grown up since then. They were able to find material in the depositions that they otherwise would not have been able to find without having the transcript. So if you're working with Final Cut Pro 10 or Script Sync in Media Composer, you have a big head start on finding the material than you have in other NLEs. They're the 3 primary modes for Lumberjack. We have daily mode, keywording mode, we have story mode, and we have transcript mode, and it's all for one trip to Starbucks a month. Thank you very much.